Hey you guys, this is Brittany with the Homestead Trail. We've had our Harbor Freight greenhouse up for an entire year now, so let's talk about how it's done. All right, it has rained every day for the last like 2 weeks, so don't judge us on how badly we need to mow and how badly we need to weed the garden. We're already aware. All right, so let's start with our climate. We're located in central Indiana, so we get all 4 seasons. Our climate is fairly mild. We don't get any like Montana blizzards or anything like that, but we do get some decent storms throughout the year. So let's start with the damage. Last fall we had 2 really bad storms. There was like 65 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, really heavy rain, and it ended up ripping off 3 of our windows on the top here. I think 2 of them they completely ripped off, and then 1 of them was just bent completely backwards. This window was the only one that was not damaged. You can see it's open a little bit there. But what we ended up having to do is essentially just screw the windows to the frames to where they're permanently shut, because after we fixed them, you can see we had to tape them up there to seal them back up. Because before, the way that the frames were bent so badly, they wouldn't have ever been able to be shut. And the main way that I use this greenhouse is to start seeds early in the spring and to extend the growing season in the fall. So we wanted to keep these closed the majority of the time that we're using it anyway, so we decided that the easiest way was just to keep them closed permanently. We do have this one that wasn't damaged. It can still be open, but not even gonna mess with it. Those storms also ripped off that left door there. We had to do some minor repairing on it and put it back on because it was completely off the track, but it wasn't too bad to fix. It's still able to be used as before, but it's just a little bit rougher. As far as our modifications go, you can see where we added just some cheap like drawer handles there. That makes opening and closing these things way easier. Definitely do that. Another one of the modifications that we did was to silicone along the bottom, inside and outside of these panels. You can kind of see the silicone there. So as you can see, there's still some humidity getting in there. But these panels are still completely clear. There's no algae growth at all, which was the main thing I was worried about. And I think the only reason you can even see that humidity there now is really because it's just been raining so much. You can see there's just a little bit there. But whenever it gets hot and the humidity decreases, you won't even be able to see that humidity locked in there. So it's able to get in, but it can also get back out. And you can compare these front panels. We did not silicone at all just because of where they were and how tight that fitting was there. But you can see there's a lot more humidity trapped in those panels that we didn't silicone. So I do think that the silicone helped. You know, how long it'll help or if there's any long-term effects from that might make a difference, but it seems to be helping. In our last video, we got lots and lots of comments from you guys that we did in fact put the clips in upside down, so thank you guys so much for that. We had no idea. The instructions were so bad on those clips, it was not clear at all, but apparently, according to you guys, the clips are supposed to go to where that U shape is supposed to be closer to the panels there. So we put those in wrong. Honestly though, you guys, if we found out that we were doing them wrong halfway through, I think we would have just left them anyways. I don't think we would have went back and corrected any of them because these things are so stupid to put in, and that tool that they give you, it helps a little bit, but not really. So we probably would have just left them anyways. And honestly, even through those storms, we didn't lose a single one of these vertical panels or any on the roof. And part of that was probably because we did do these screws. Some other comments that we got on the last video was some concern that the screws would end up splitting the panels because they would prevent you know, the expansion and contraction with the differing temperatures. And that very well may be true. That might be something that we have to deal with in the future. You can see that, you know, there's some humidity in there, so there's some moisture getting in there behind the screws. But we haven't had any that have split, and I think part of it is because we didn't put them in super tight. You see they're pretty flush, they're not pushing in on the panel at all. So I think that helped. But yeah, we don't have any that are splitting. Whether it'll do that in the future, I'm not sure, but it definitely has helped to keep these panels intact even through crazy storms. Yeah, this one we might have put in a little too tight, but yeah, so I would say definitely do the screws on your panels to keep them intact. Otherwise, they're going to be in the neighbor's yard as soon as you get any type of a windstorm. Yeah, so that addresses the majority of the modifications we made and most of your guys' comments and concerns, which we really appreciate. You guys gave us a lot of really good information and some good insight for, you know, maybe if we build another greenhouse in the future, some things to consider. So we definitely appreciate your guys' insight on that. Let me just do a quick walk around here so you guys get a full view of how it looks. So yeah, year one with the greenhouse is down in the books, and we got a lot of good use out of it. We started all these seeds in it. It definitely enabled us to put stuff outside way earlier than we would have otherwise. So it definitely does its job. Would I spend the $600 to $1,000 that they're usually asking for it there at Harbor Freight? No, I probably wouldn't spend that much. Like I said in the last video, we did use a coupon and we used it when this was on sale. So I think we got it for $400 something, maybe $450. Do I think it's worth $450? Yes, I do. I think, you know, there's some really cool DIY plans out there for greenhouses, but for me personally, I just feel like some of those made out of wood and 2x4s and stuff, I think they're kind of bulky looking, and that's just my personal opinion, my personal taste. So what I really like about these Harbor Freight ones is, you know, with the metal frame, it's just not so bulky, and it just looks very polished. It doesn't have that DIY look to it, you know, so I just think it looks really nice. I also think that the 10x12 size is just about perfect. You don't want it to be too big, you know, since you're not going to be using this all summer. You don't want it taking up all your garden space, but you do want to have enough room to do what you got to do during, you know, the early spring and the fall. And you know, this spring I only used maybe a quarter of the space. I really only used just one wall of it. We're still planning on doing aquaponics in the back. We haven't gotten around to that yet, but hopefully, you know, maybe next year we'll have time to put that together. And then the entire right side, we just kind of used as storage. We have that big water tank in there. But yeah, 10x12 is perfect amount. Totally usable, totally doable if you're just a regular, you know, hobby gardener that doesn't need a whole lot of space all the time. So that is our greenhouse update. Let's finish this video with a real quick garden tour. We've got some carrots in these bags, some strawberries and some lavender, decorative tomatoes, I guess, with some petunias in those. Something ate my hollyhock here. Not real happy about that. That hollyhock's doing pretty good though. Some more strawberries back here. Another big old tomato. Got some carrots. They're starting to look pretty good. These flowers, I can't remember what those are. Some petunias. This is supposed to be pumpkin on a stick. It is getting eaten by something, some type of a bug. I'm just gonna let it go though, honestly. We have bees now this year, so I'm kind of scared to spray anything on anything. I'm just gonna kind of take my losses in hopes of, you know, keeping my bees. Broomcorn's doing really good. Yeah, whatever sweet corn did come up is getting eaten. We've got a friendly deer that likes to visit every night. But yeah, we bought our sweet corn seeds from Rural King, which this is our first time doing Rural King seeds, but nope, that one's got knocked over. Germination rate was terrible. I don't know, it was like 1 out of every 5. You can see this huge space right here that just didn't come up. So we've got some more corn started in the house. We're gonna try to do it that way. Get those replaced here real quick. Beans came up really well, and something is eating them. We don't know if it's the rabbits or the deer, but they really knocked it out down there, which really sucks. I know, it's very sad. You gotta eat those rabbits. No. We have 30,000 tomatoes. We got all of our tomato seeds from Baker Creek. I want to say they're German pink and pink brandywine, I think is what we got. Potatoes are doing awesome. We have so many potatoes, 2 rows of them. Oh, looks like they're starting to flower. That's exciting. We're doing broccoli the first time this year. It seems to be doing okay. Something's eating it too, but again, oh, look at that. Starting to get some flowers. That's exciting. And then all down here are onions that desperately need to be weeded. They're doing okay. And down here, got some pepper plants. Doesn't look like, oh, there's some flowers. We had some sunflowers down here, but they got eaten. Check out the bees real quick. I think they're enjoying the break from the rain for once. See if we can catch any pollen. Nope, they're very busy. And then over here, we've got the pumpkin patch. We're doing cucumbers, watermelons, several different types of pumpkin, and just regular old black beauty squash, which we've actually already harvested, which we started all of these early inside. So real excited to already be, able to make some zucchini bread, which I actually made some last night. Doing well. Got a couple of pumpkins starting. Real excited about that. And I think we have some gourds here too. Some of those little decorative gourds that you put on your porch around Halloween time. This one's doing really well. Looks like something's eating this one too. Deer. So there you have it, you guys. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight into these Harbor Freight greenhouses. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.